Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends, and a terrific Thursday to you. And we are glad you are with us today. 314-436-7900 to join in by calling and texting. Leave voice messages on the Odyssey app. Listen to the show on the Odyssey app. And leave us those voice messages. You just record it and send it, and it's super, super easy. Also, go back and get the podcast of the shows later. Any of the interviews or anything you missed, it's all there for you. And you can listen to the Cardinals game. How about that? And we love you so much. We want you to see us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We think we look pretty good, so you can watch the show if you want at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Properties near the St. Louis sinkhole. You know what? Our next team should be the St. Louis sinkholes. The St. Louis sinkhole has been warned of a sewer backup, and there was a truck fire near it this morning.
There's
a truck on fire near the sinkhole.
This is bad.
That sinkhole is the best thing that's happened to me in weeks. Even better than what happened at the ballpark yesterday, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Well, from one sinkhole to the next, the U.S. and Iran have signed a deal to end the conflict, and the terms are now being made known. At least some of those terms are being made known, and pretty controversial here. We're going to chat with CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett and get those details.
Oh, and I bet he's gloating because his Padres beat the Cardinals yesterday.
Yeah.
They salvaged the finale of the series, and the Cardinals still got the best of them overall. And then it will be the Kansas City Royals coming up next for our Redbirds. That is today, a 5:45 pregame, 6:40 first pitch right here on 104.1 FM KMOX. So, yes, yesterday at the ballpark.
Chris and Amy Day.
So we want to thank everybody for coming out. Very first thing, because we had a lot of people come out, stop by, say hello to us.
Yeah.
And when we were guest bartending at the Mississippi River Yacht Club, a lot of people came up and they ordered booze and beer and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, yes, thank you so much to all of the listeners who bought tickets, showed up at the ballpark, took the afternoon off. So many people drove from all over the area, Ranj. We had a big contingent from the 618. A lot of people from
my people,
your people from Illinois coming on over. And I was just really, really moved. It was so much fun to meet so many listeners who were so kind and so positive, whether it was, while we were broadcasting and towards the very end of the show, they opened up the gates. So we kind of had that window post show. And before we started broadcasting at the Mississippi, or bartending at the Mississippi Yacht Club, we got to talk to a lot of listeners. And then when we were at the bar bartending, so many people came up. I don't want to brag, but I did hear I think we were the most popular bartenders.
Oh, the most popular guest bartenders?
Bar.
Yeah, because they've had others, pretty good.
I think we were the most popular.
And you mentioned the positivity of these listeners who came by. I don't know where they're getting it, because it's not from us.
Well, so that's right. Well, that was one reason why I was so moved, too, because, there are a lot of idiots who text in, too, right? And I say that because sometimes they're kind of negative, and people always know. For instance, this goes back all the way to the Charlie Brennan show, about people who will text in and say how much they hate my laugh, for instance.
Oh.
Do you know how many listeners came up yesterday and said, I love your laugh, keep laughing? There are more good people than there are trolls in the world.
Well, you know what? Those people, whoever said that to you, I need to have a talk with them. Because they just made my life a whole lot more difficult. Because all they did was reinforce your bad behavior.
We're a family that laughs a lot. I grew up laughing a lot. No, but seriously, it was so much fun. And then when we went out near the Chris and Amy section, at, what was it, 320 or 333?
Not even close.
131
through 133.
Sorry. Listen, you guys wore me out. I had so much fun yesterday.
It's not your fault.
No.
It's not your fault you don't know numbers.
No, I don't know numbers. But we met, Stella and Barbara were out there.
Stella and Barbara.
Yes. We got to meet Stella and Barbara out there.
Barbara had to This nice lady Barbara came up to Amy, came up to both of us
10 times
and had to spell her name for Amy. It was at least 8 or 9 times.
I
She's
know.
like B-A-R.
Because there's Barbara where they don't do the Barbara, and I wanted to make sure I spelled Barbara right for how she spells it. You can never assume, but then when she spelled it for me, my brain just absolutely broke. But anyway, it was so look, my gosh, it was so fun. So thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to the Cardinals. The Cardinals treated us like royalty.
Yeah, dude, they had us up on that screen a few times.
With Todd Thomas, that one guy.
Todd Thomas. Nice fella.
I mean, really, the Cardinals rolled out the red carpet, made sure, whether they were stopping by the broadcast booth or making sure we were being taken care of when we were guest bartending at the Mississippi Yacht Club, to the T-shirt slingshot with Fred Bird. I mean, the Cardinals really rolled out the red carpet, and it was fun. Thank you to Anouk Kurunaratne, who came down and chatted with us.
Chaim Bloom. Yep.
Ricky Horton, Polo Asensio, and Benji Molina.
Al Raboski stopped
by.
by.
Al Raboski stopped by. I mean, so many great conversations yesterday. It was a blast. So thank you to everyone who came out.
The theme of the day really was, of all the people we talked to, because we talked Cardinals roster and draft with Chaim Bloom, and we talked to Anouk about all kinds of stuff. But really, the theme of the day was there's just so much energy in the ballpark now this season. For whatever reason, part of it is the winning, part of it is the newness of a new front office. While a lot of the same people are still around and still in house, you got the same coaching staff, a lot of the same front offices here still, but there has been also a little bit of turnover too. It's just a different feeling at Busch Stadium this year. And yes, of course, winning is part of that. And, when we talked to Polo and Benji, who came by as well, we were talking a little bit off the air about how some of the numbers, the team numbers, the peripherals, are kind of not quite as good as last year. However, the team is playing better, and they're winning probably a little bit more than they did at this point last season. And there's just a different feel. Everything is different. There's
the excitement.
And like the broadcasts are different. The TV and the radio. We're here on KMOX. We're interviewing coaches in the middle of the game, which isn't something that was ever done previously. Everybody's open to doing new stuff. It feels fresh. It's just this is a really fun and interesting era of Cardinals baseball that's continuing. And, of course, we've got the tarps off people.
Well,
everything that's happening at Busch Stadium this year and with the Cardinals just feels different, even if you could see a lot of similarities to years past. Yeah,
and you bring up the tarps off when we were talking to Anouk Kurunaratne, who's the Senior Vice President of Business Operations there. I asked him, how did you guys lean into tarps off without ruining it, without cheesing it up? And he said, we knew from the beginning it was an organic movement and we had to keep it fan driven. If we went in there and made it, too much official or too, I don't know, to cheese it up, to kind of take away that organic nature of it, it would lose its magic. So he talked about that balance of wanting to make sure that you could foster a healthy environment where it could grow organically, but not get in the way. It had to be fan-driven, and they've done a great job at that.
They really have, and I love everything that is happening there. And this doesn't mean that 2026 is going to end up with a playoff finish. It doesn't mean the Cardinals are going to get there.
It doesn't mean they're not.
It doesn't mean they're no. I mean, this could happen. The National League, there are no teams that are running away with it, with the exception of the Dodgers are really good and the Braves are really good. But as far as the wild card goes, the Brewers are really good. But the wild card is there for the Cardinals to take it. And I think they'll still be in the conversation late in the year. I think we'll be in the middle of September still talking about the possibility of playoffs, which is awesome because I didn't think that was going to be a possibility. It doesn't mean, however, they're going to get there. And you know what? That doesn't really matter for 2026. I mean, of course we want to get to the postseason, but the fact they are fun and new and different and exciting and the atmosphere has improved dramatically at the ballpark, that's the thing that matters, because that's the thing that can carry over into next year and when they really start to, I think, come alive as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And, it may not be a 27 is not going to be a finished product, and hopefully we have a 2027. Could be a strike. But by the time we get to 2028, this should be a really good team.
Yeah.
And it just, the atmosphere around it is we are moving that direction. And that's not how it felt the last couple of seasons.
Well, and I asked Chaim Bloom because he said when you look at the success of this team and how compared to everyone's expectations, a lot of, outside expectations, that the team is overperforming. And he said, well, they're performing the way we had hoped. This is how you hope the season goes. And I asked, yes, and you can hope for something and still be kind of surprised when it happens.
Of course.
And he said, yeah, if you had asked me at this moment on June 17th that this is where we would be, I can't say that I would have completely anticipated that. And yes, if the Cardinals are still playing really well come the trade deadline and they're still in a playoff spot, I asked him if there would be, a lot more noise. And he said, we welcome the noise. We're not going to stray. They're not going to stray from their plan. And he's been very clear over like a broken record over multiple interviews that they're not going to stray from their plan. But it's fun to take in the noise and say, okay, let's see where we're at. Can I say this real quick? One of my favorite parts of yesterday was the surprise visit from Al Roboski. And we talked about him going tarps off, that famous moment that went viral, and how he asked permission because he wanted to make sure, hey, is this okay if I join in as a former player, part of, the broadcast team? He's an ambassador for the Cardinals. Is it okay if he goes tarps off? And they said, yes, do it. And he said that his heart was racing faster and he was more nervous in the second before he took his shirt off than he ever was taking the mound as a player. That's unbelievable.
Well, yeah, you're doing something out of the ordinary. I think that it's just not a thing that you do. I mean, you go up there and you pitch and you do it almost every day.
But
you feel
players still get jitters, for sure.
Yeah, yes, some do. Some are a little more relaxed than others. And that seemed to be a guy who had to, really get himself worked up on the mound. And he did, and it was fun to watch. We appreciate Derek Gould for stopping by as well. That's right. Covers the Cardinals for the Post-Dispatch, has been doing it for years. So does Lynn Worthy.
Don't appreciate him.
And Lynn Worthy pointed out this, which I don't think is fair.
It's not.
He says, March through June 16th, Cardinals were 9 games above 500. Record on Chris and Amy Day, 0-1 with a run differential of -5. That's not nice.
That's not nice, Lynn.
We thought Lynn was a friend of the show. Apparently not.
We thought wrong.
We didn't make them lose.
No, although I did have a couple people in the sports world text me that Chris and Amy Day ruined it for the Cardinals.
I think the Heat did.
I don't know.
It was the only day this week where it was 105.
It kind of felt like our fault, to be honest. That was the only dark cloud yesterday. I think we blew it.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Yesterday wasn't the only day that was the only thing about this week that was on fire. There was a fire this morning.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you should always make sure people are okay first.
I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, we had a fire this morning by the sinkhole. We have updates on the sinkhole, the police board. There's all kinds of great stuff happening in St. Louis. It's Chris and Amy on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. This one's for you. Scott Credit Union's Community Heroes program offers special financing on homes, autos, and more. It's our way of saying thanks. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
Come out to Hot Shots on Lindbergh this Friday between 12 and 2 p.m. to celebrate 150 years of Budweiser. Don't miss out on a fresh day of brewed Budweiser and a chance to win great prizes while mingling with KMOX sports talent and sports manager Tom Ackerman. And while you're there, don't miss the chance to stay and watch the U.S. versus Australia game on the big screens while enjoying a Budweiser. All happening Friday at Hot Shots on Lindbergh. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX, and yes, there was a fire this morning. So we've been talking about the sinkhole, the St. Louis sinkhole, which has been one of the great news stories of the last, couple generations, I think. And, it's like, I guess part of the problem with it, and Amy, I'm pretty sure we're in agreement on this, is that we love St. Louis. St. Louis does have some issues. You could argue they have a lot of issues. And when something like this happens, it's almost like, of course we have a giant sinkhole that opened up right in the middle of downtown underneath an interstate, and they had to close the interstate as a result. Well, it's just like,
yes,
really,
it's definitely gallows humor in the sense that this is a big deal. This is bad. And the sinkhole opened up right by one of those support columns for the interstate. And who knows what could have happened. Someone could have been driving. People could have been killed. And it's a little bit of gallows humor because no one technically got hurt from the sinkhole that opened up. We also know that it's now even bigger crisis because the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District is warning residents in the area surrounding the sinkhole that, hey, you better be prepared for sewer backups, like raw sewage backups, because these pipes that broke, in case you didn't know, it was raw sewage. I have a friend who lives downtown near Ballpark Village, and she said when the sinkhole opened up that day and all that raw sewage was just blowing through the pipes in the sinkhole, you could smell it. They're like, what is that? Oh, yeah, what is that smell? So now, the sewer district is telling people in that area, and you can see there's a map. They have released a map of the area where there's high risk, moderate, and low risk. You might not want to use your washing machine. Try not to take long showers. Don't use water if you don't need to, because they did have to close a 12 by 12 foot portion of the sewer, and that is could potentially cause sewer backups. They even said take everything out of your basement, especially if it's valuable, because you don't want raw sewage flowing through it. So I say all this because it is a serious issue. And sometimes it feels like we don't have serious people dealing with it, because I get it that water infrastructure is not sexy. A lot of people aren't running for office or aren't campaigning or don't have billboards working on water infrastructure. There are a lot of other real issues for sure. There are also issues that are really tough to solve. I know Michael Kelly said it's so frustrating when our water infrastructure is collapsing underneath us, and you had administration saying, okay, well, here's all we're going to do to try to fix homelessness, which of course no one's been able to do, or reparations, which is a very, very big deal that maybe some of these grander ideas might be better suited to federal government, and say if you are a city government, you need to do the very, very basics like pick up trash, fill potholes, and funnel money towards the water infrastructure that's failing and run. I think it's not sexy. I really don't think it's sexy enough for people to prioritize it, because this has been multiple administrations now, multiple groups of leaders, and it hasn't been addressed.
Right, but I think this administration has been aware of it and seems to have made it a priority. I mean, that was part of the when they were polling people about, or surveying St. Louis residents about what they wanted done. Yeah. And the city put that on the list. They put the water infrastructure on the list because they knew it was a big problem, and some of that money is being allocated toward it. I don't think this administration is not worried about it.
It's not this one, because this sinkhole is not their fault. What I'm saying is, how did it get to this? How have we ignored it for decades and decades and decades, kicking the can down the road? But we could have a real crisis. What if 10 of these open
Because
up?
when it's underground, people don't see it and they don't think about it.
Right. And
it's not just the city, it's the residents, too. They don't think about it until it becomes a problem. Anyway, today, somehow, and nobody knows how this started yet, but a truck near the sinkhole caught fire. And it appears to be, according to our news partners at Fox 2, a St. Louis City Street Department truck. And there is video of it. The truck is on fire. It's engulfed in flames, and it is on fire near the sinkhole. And again, as of about an hour ago, there was no cause. We don't know how it started, why it started. We just know there's a car on fire near the sinkhole.
It's really on fire.
And I have to tell you, on the Instagram account for Fox 2, because, of course, they got the cameras and they're down there covering it, the very first comment is... And I have to commend this person for saying this, but the very first comment is, throw it in the hole. Because when I saw the truck on fire, I thought, I should just put that in that sinkhole. Just drive the truck. I don't know why I had that thought. And apparently, I'm not the only person. I'm not the only person who thought, hey, just drive that truck on fire into the sinkhole.
Do sewer fumes catch on fire? Are they flammable?
They can. If there's gas down there can be.
So don't throw it in the hole.
It depends on the sewer. If it's clean water, it's not going to...
Well, we thought throwing the truck in the hole would be a good idea. We didn't realize that it would ignite a fire that
Where's the fire department? It doesn't
city.
matter. Just push it.
Push it in the hole. I will say this, man. And they don't want to film movies here. What's going on right now, if I took a picture of that and said, this is St. Louis, you would think it's AI or a Michael Bay film. With the sinkhole, that truck is not just a little bit on fire.
No, it's engulfed in flames.
It's a conflagration.
I wonder what Ralph Macchio thinks of this.
I know he's here.
He's here filming a movie on the Hill.
What if he calls an audible and they make a really hard left turn for Love on the Hill and suddenly it's a dystopian hellscape?
I hope they film Love on the Spectrum here. That's all I care about. That show is the best. So that's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. How about a show at the St. Louis Symphony or with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra? It's called Beethoven and Coldplay. Yeah, that is coming up Friday, June 26th. We will have the creator and conductor Steve Hackman joining the show in just a moment. And right now, speaking of stages, it is the biggest stage in the world in sports, really. And FanDuel is changing the game. Some terrific matches have happened already in this tournament. And because sometimes when you've bet a player in the tournament, you know, your player gets subbed out. That happens a lot. Well, your bet normally goes with them. That means that your bet's off the table. Well, FanDuel thought there was a better way to do it. They have introduced FanDuel's Super Sub. So if your player is subbed out during the match, you get to keep your bet rolling. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with that substitute who comes in for him. So if you are going to bet a player, you're still in it until the final whistle. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. And FanDuel is always trying to find ways to keep you in on the action. This is just one of the newest ways to do it. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up if you haven't done it already. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
All access with Ollie Marble on the Gas House Gang.
I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group. This group fits my personality to a T. I love what we're doing. I love how we're going about it. I love the honest conversations. I love the grit. And there's been certain times where I've caught myself where bases are loaded, our back's up against the wall, and I can't help but smile. I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group.
Ollie Marble, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's beautiful, 74 degrees and sunny. A high today, just 80. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a passing shower, a low of 62.
Brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage.
Business moves fast. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit.
800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
Today,
the Cards, the Royals.
Emblem Total Access 545. First pitch 640.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, it has been so much fun going to the St. Louis Symphony over the years, but even this year. And there's all these different collaborations that they do. And my brother actually brought this one to my attention because I do love Coldplay. He loves Coldplay. And Beethoven and Coldplay, a concert with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra is Friday, June 26th. It's going to be so much fun. And joining us now is the creator and conductor of Beethoven and Coldplay, and that is Steve Hackman. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Nice to hear from you.
We're so excited for this concert because Coldplay is one of our favorites, and this not new, but maybe in the past decade or so of like collaboration of pop stars and bands and symphonies has been so much fun. And you've been doing this for a while now.
I have. I've been doing it for about a decade. I've created a catalog of 16 of these productions. I'm lucky to bring them all over the world to orchestras. And St. Louis is absolutely one of my favorite partners. It's a world-class symphony orchestra. They're the best. I can't wait to bring this one next week.
It's going to be so much fun. I know we talked about the one previously that you
did. The Radiohead one.
Brahms and Radiohead. Are you're coming up with these ideas, and how do you decide which band, which composer to pair?
Well, in classical music, we have called a curatorial responsibility, and you guys are kind of aware of this. Also on the radio, anyone who's presenting any sort of content, you're making decisions on what do you think is the most important, the most vital, content and material to put forward to your audience? What do we think is essential? And with these fusion productions of mine, it's the process by which the music director, Stefan Deneb of the St. Louis Symphony, would decide what to present on the classical side. It's just I also have this other column. And this other column is the popular material. And then once I decide kind of what that pairing could be, what two essential artists, who they are and how if they could fit together, I then actually putting them together. So Beethoven and Coldplay, I think it's kind of self-explanatory that these are two of the, the juggernauts in their respective genres, and finding ways to combine them with a real adventure.
Do you think there's any intentional? Okay, I'm trying to think of how to ask this question. When there's an artist, a modern artist like Radiohead or like Coldplay, they're playing modern music, obviously, rock and roll or whatever you want to call it, alternative. Do you think that there is intentional influence from classical artists sometimes, or is there just or could it just be a the way music evolves over time and it becomes modern? Does that make sense the way I'm asking this question? Like, is there any kind of classical influence on modern artists, whether it's intentional or not?
Well, in the case, I think both cases, it's undeniable that Coldplay and Radiohead have been influenced. Johnny Greenwood has specifically cited the Brahms First Symphony, which is the piece that I use.
He's incredible, by the way. He's brilliant.
Absolutely. And, Coldplay, obviously they're tremendous. And they've also talked about classical influences. I mean, nothing happens in a void, and we are all influenced by everything around us. I mean, that's the beauty of art. Each one of us as creators is this unique sum of all these influences that we are constantly taking. So I see that as a continuum. I don't see classical and modern. I see it all as one continuum, and finding those connection points and finding a way to show people that in Beethoven's time, that was modern music. That was quote unquote pop music. You know, in Beethoven's time, there would have been many more, let's say, just common folk attending his concert than there would be today. It wasn't as elite. The barrier of entry wasn't as high.
You know, I'm looking at, you know, the collaborations that you've done. You've done so much work. We talked about Brahms and Radiohead, Beethoven and Beyonce, Beethoven and Coldplay, which is obviously this month. But then coming up in 2027, you have Taylor Swift, the Symphony Era, and Stravinsky and Kendrick Lamar, which is so cool.
It's awesome.
Have you been surprised by any of the collaborations, either them working so well or maybe being even more difficult than you thought?
The Beethoven Coldplay, thank you for the question. Beethoven Coldplay, on the surface, I chose those for emotional and thematic reasons, because this deal with the root fundamental humanist themes of being a, you know, living person on this planet, you know, love and loss and joy and sorrow and triumph. They speak to that in such beautiful, evocative ways. And they just take on these huge themes, and that's why I combine those. Once I got actually into it and sort of lifted the hood up and started to do the work, I realized, whoa, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought, actually. So finding a way in. Now, also, I wrote that piece in, I was the exact same age when I wrote that piece that Beethoven was when he wrote the Eroica Symphony, which was 35 years old. So that was really fun for me, too, because I started to think of as a contemporary, like as somebody I could talk to, and I started to ask myself, well, what was Beethoven going through, and what Coldplay songs might he have been listening to, you know, to kind of to soothe him, as therapy. I mean, he was losing his hearing. Do you think he was maybe listening to The Scientist, which has the words when you lose, Fix You, which has the words when you lose something, could it be worse? I mean, it's kind of a fun idea, actually.
It's a really interesting way to look at it. Never would have thought to do it that way. So this show coming up here, it happens a week from tomorrow, so June 26th. It is Friday, June 26th at 7:30 p.m., St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Before we say goodbye here, you mentioned Powell Symphony Hall and how incredible it is. And you're an outsider. I mean, you're coming at this from somewhere else, and we always hear about how great that place is, that building is, up against other symphony halls around the country or even around the world. How different is it, or why is it so good? Because it seems to get universal praise.
Well, I'll tell you, again, St. Louis Symphony is one of my favorite orchestras to visit. However, I've only been coming there since the renovation. So I was only in the Opera House, and I think been there with them 2 or 3 times. So this will be my first time in Powell, the new Powell Hall, and I can't wait.
Oh, well, we're looking
That's
forward to
awesome.
having you. And again, for tickets for the event, slso.org. Just go there and you can find all the events. Go to the events page and you can get tickets for this. It is Beethoven Coldplay concert, happens Friday, June 26th, 7:30 p.m., and our guest here, Steve Hackman, is the creator and conductor of the show, and it will be an amazing time. So, Steve, we appreciate you talking about this with us. It's a very, very cool concept, and you've done it several times already, and we'll be continuing to do it. We got the Taylor Swift and the Kendrick Lamar shows as well. So this is all very cool stuff. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you guys so much. See you.
That is Steve Hackman, the creator and conductor of the Beethoven and Coldplay show, with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line.
I kind of want to go to the Kendrick Lamar one.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That
That's
would be
next
really
year.
Good. Yeah,
That's a year.
27.
Yeah, June 2027.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Because I'm like, you know how you're thinking of the beats in his music in your head now, and like, how will that pair? Anyway, very, very cool stuff.
I'm a little upset. Not a little. I'm upset that I missed the
Brahms and Radiohead?
Yeah, 2024 when they did that show.
You should be upset.
Yeah.
That would have been so good.
Radiohead, honestly, he's right about that. Radiohead and Coldplay are two groups that very much have like there's a classical influence in some of the music.
Yeah, no, you can hear
And
it.
he mentioned Johnny Greenwood, who is the composer, guitar for Radiohead. That guy's unreal. He does a lot of stuff outside of the band. He's just amazing.
You know, you have a lot of sports arguments. Who's the greatest player and whatever. One of the music arguments we have are if you had really, really, really strict guidelines and could only name like 3 or 5, like who do you really consider a genius? Not just an incredible singer-songwriter, but a true genius. Tom York's a genius.
Tom York and Greenwood might be even more so. Honestly, those two guys are unbelievable. Amy Marks, chorus, Chris Ranji. Get tickets for that show. Beethoven, Coldplay. The concert is a week from tomorrow, June 26th. slso.org. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
The Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale are coming to the Family Arena for one magical night of country and Christmas, December 17th. It's the Gatlin Brothers Farewell Tour, and Crystal Gale is joining them to celebrate an evening of country's greatest hits and beautiful Christmas music. Don't miss the Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale. Tickets are available at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster.
Mickey Dolenz, 60 Years of the Monkees. One night celebrating the music from their hit TV show, The Monkees, and a generation of adoring fans. Friday, November 13th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. All the biggest hits and intimate stories from the groundbreaking hit show. Mickey Dolenz. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Don't trust your next outdoor project to some fly-by-night company that makes big promises and who knows where they'll be tomorrow. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best for 58 years. That shows staying power. What does it take to be a locally owned company for 58 years? Well, it takes satisfied customers and great word of mouth. That's what Chesterfield Fence and Deck has, because it is the sign you have the very best. And when you pay them the money, they build you a quality product that lasts for years to come. That is a real value. So if you are looking to upgrade, maybe you need a new deck, maybe you would like to have a patio, a pergola, a sunroom, a screen room, or maybe you just need a fence or a gate, whatever it is, big or small, Chesterfield Fence and Deck has got you covered. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll take 20% off your next outdoor project. Visit them in the Chesterfield Valley or online right now at chesterfieldfence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
All right, Ranj. I bet you didn't see this, but Qantas has a new specialized A350 aircraft, like an Airbus. It's the first of 12 specialized A350 Airbuses that will now have direct flights from London to Sydney, because apparently there was never a direct flight from London to Sydney before. And why does it need a special wide-body long-haul jet, an Airbus 350-1000? Because it is a 21-hour flight.
Yuck.
And they are doing it without a stopover. And let me tell you, I did this 17-hour flight from Dallas to Sydney, which I thought was long. 21 is that last 4 hours. If you think you can handle a 17-hour flight and then they tell you you've got 4 more hours, that's a long flight.
Yuck, dude.
But now it's, nonstop, baby.
Well,
it's called Project Sunrise.
So wait a minute. We had a direct flight to London.
Yes,
right?
we do. It's like 7.5 hours.
So Sydney didn't even have one, but we did.
That's a great point.
Well,
we are the Sydney of the Midwest.
We're better than Sydney. Yeah. You know what to do with that information. Not much.
Put it in the sinkhole.
Okay, you said that you put in this. I got to tell you, our sinkhole, here's what we do with the sinkhole. All of our problems, we just dump it in the sinkhole.
Dump it in the sinkhole.
The truck on fire, push it into the sinkhole.
I did have a friend who was running downtown this morning, and he texted me. He goes, I must have seen that truck right before it caught on fire, because it was not on fire when we ran by it.
I think every one of our problems we could just throw into the sinkhole. Let's get that started. You told me that you thought you knew what I was going to come with today for Did You See This?
Yes.
Okay. This is from Fox 2, our friends at Fox 2. A St. Louis man will appear in court, or did appear in court yesterday.
Okay.
For public indecency after appearing nude at Art Hill in Forest Park.
Nope, that's
is this
not
the story?
It. Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
It happened on Monday, June 15th, and according to the police department, it was unclear if it was near the Emerson Grand Basin or in front of the St. Louis Arch Museum. A witness called 911 to report seeing a nude man laying on a bench. This individual told police he was performing a thing on himself.
Ew, really?
And then rubbing his butt against a large pole.
Wait, this is on Fox 2?
Yes. It's
How
on
did
Fox
I
2.
not see this story? Listen, guys.
I don't know how you didn't see this.
Do not mess up Forest Park. We should throw this guy in the sinkhole.
Officers located the nude man, Zachary J. Whalen, 33 years old, and they took him into custody. So
free my man.
No, throw him in the sinkhole.
Should we got to throw Zachary Whalen in the sinkhole?
Yes.
With the truck on fire?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay.
What did you think I was going to come with?
I thought it was going to be that the Gilgo Beach serial killer was sentenced.
I saw that, though.
Yeah,
I did
to life
see that.
in prison without parole.
Did you hear the judge? He called him... Oh, I forgot how he put it, but he said, people have described you as a big guy, but you're a small... He just eviscerated the dude.
Yeah, as he should. What an awful... The sinkhole is too good for this guy, to be honest. The sewage-filled sinkhole. I also saw on the St. Louis Police Department, St. Louis City Metropolitan Police Department Instagram page that they were able to discover on social media a plan for one of those stupid, idiotic teen takeovers.
Yeah.
They wanted to take over Forest Park. I'll tell
so
you
they got
what,
'em?
you touch my park,
You're not going to
there's
do
going to
anything
be
about
problems.
it.
There's going to be problems. Don't
What are
you touch
gonna-
my park.
What are you going to do?
I don't know, but I'll think of something.
You're going to do absolutely nothing except raise a fuss.
Let's watch you do nothing. I don't know, Princess Jasmine, you tell me. Again, a night at the museum. You are missing so
Man,
much.
if you reference Night at the Museum one more time, I'm going to
Because
throw you in the
just said,
sinkhole.
Let's watch
In
you
the
do
se-
nothing.
I swear to God,
Let's
you've
watch
brought
you
up-
do nothing.
You've brought up this 20-year-old movie 35 times in the last 2 weeks.
If you look at the cast and just the star-studded cast and brilliant performers, from Ben Stiller, Robin Williams, Hank Azaria, Bill Hader, Jonah Hill, it's hilarious. At any rate, the police department said, no, we've foiled the plans for this teen takeover. Police will be present all over Forest Park. And stupid kids are going to get arrested if they even try it. And the police are saying, don't try it. And that's right. Here's what I'm telling you right now. The city of St. Louis, we have made so many mistakes. I get it. And there's a sinkhole and a truck on fire. But you cannot lose Forest Park. And you're not going to give Forest Park up to stupid teen takeovers, which, again, the police have caught it, and I'm so grateful. But we surround Forest Park. We protect Forest Park. That is our gem.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad they took care of the problem that you're mad about that didn't happen. I'm so glad they took care of it.
No, they
because,
did. They took
because
care
then
of it.
these kids didn't have to have Amy come down and give them a piece of her mind.
Oh,
so
They
thank God this
let me
didn't
just
happen.
Say this.
Hey,
The lecture they would have gotten from me, they would have prayed that someone would throw them in
I'll
the
never
sinkhole.
They'll never would have gone out
And
again.
let me tell you another thing. I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, that lady's coming. Let's go. Hey, so we've got the World Cup match tomorrow. The
USA.
men's national team tomorrow afternoon. Again, back at it against Australia. The game against Paraguay, did you see 27.5 million viewers with the English call and then on Telemundo, the Spanish call, which is better than the previous record for both, and that was during 2022 and 2014. That number is the same audience that Netflix drew for its top Christmas Day game, NFL game last year, was the Lions and Vikings.
Wow.
So
impressive.
The World Cup is so good and so much fun, and even though all these cities are getting screwed, but it's a lot of fun. That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. We'll talk a little Cardinals baseball when we come back. We got Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, joining us next on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio to get an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
LegacyBox.com/radio.
Homeowners, I know a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler. I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So, Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure that they get top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my Buyers in Waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can't get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. That's why you call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10:01, and right now we've got sunshine, a few clouds in the downtown area. It's 76 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. We're learning new details this morning on the ceasefire deal with Iran, including where Tehran's nuclear program stands under the new agreement. ABC's Mary Bruce.
As for the issue at the heart of this conflict, Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because it's the same promise Iran made in the first line of the nuclear deal struck with President Obama. But unlike the Obama deal, this agreement with Trump makes no other nuclear commitments, no plan to dispose of its highly enriched uranium. Instead, the agreement is to continue negotiating.
The $7 billion roundup settlement is headed back to St. Louis Circuit Court. This comes as U.S. District Judge Henry Autry ruled Wednesday that the people challenging the settlement couldn't send the case to federal court since they are not defendants of the original lawsuit. According to the Business Journal, those individuals were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma and filed objections in May, just 3 months after the lawsuit was filed. In New York City, enormous crowds to honor the NBA champion New York Knicks. Mayor Zoran Mamdani says it could be the largest parade in the city's history. Angel Oliva, a high school student, says he arrived at 3 a.m. to the parade line and was unable to get a good spot, but is just grateful to be near City Hall where the ceremony takes place.
I'm here obviously to see my favorite players, my favorite team, and even though I'm not inside the parade, I'm still seeing from a distance, which a lot of people can't do.
A Collinsville man is charged with child exploitation in Nepal. 58-year-old Kenneth Coombs sexually abused 8 underage boys while staying in Nepal in August 2016. At the same time, he failed to register as a sex offender in the state of Missouri. He was required to. Coombs served 9 years in prison in Nepal for pedophilia and was arrested following his deportation from Nepal to the U.S. in September of 2025. He's been held in custody since that time. Dangerous weather continued in the Midwest overnight with several suspected tornadoes blasting through parts of Illinois, bringing damage and destruction to a number of towns. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z is in Effingham.
Widespread damage devastating the village of Blue Mound. The powerful twister crushing silos, pieces of wood impaling homes, downing power lines, debris scattered everywhere. The roof of Meridia Elementary School peeled back, exposed classrooms visible from above.
Half the school's roof is in my backyard. I'm in shock.
The city of Charleston, Illinois, has declared a state of emergency after downed trees and power lines left most of the city roads in hazardous conditions for residents and motorists.
Clouds and intervals of sun this afternoon. It'll be cooler, but with low humidity and also a thunderstorm in some places, high 78. Clear to partly cloudy, low 62 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is partly cloudy and 76 degrees in downtown St. Louis. The weather sponsored by Scott Credit Union. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Love your low mortgage rate but need extra cash? Don't refinance. Get a Scott Credit Union home equity line of credit for home renovations or debt consolidation. Learn more at scu.org. Rates vary. Terms and conditions apply.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Another 0-2 pitch to the Cardinal first baseman. Swung on, and there's a hit to right field, and the Cardinals are on the board. Taking the turn at second and stopping is Herrera. The hitting streak grows to 17 for Burleson.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Didn't work out quite the way we wanted it to on Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark yesterday. Cardinals lost, how dare they, to the Padres. However, they took the series, so we will take that. And now it's a series against the Kansas City Royals on the road, and that will begin tonight. We've got the pregame show at 5:45, 6:40 for the first pitch. KMOX and the free Odyssey app. We're joined now on the Quiver River Electric guest line by Matt Pauley, who'll have that pregame show for you. What's going on, Matt?
Not much. If they miss the playoffs this year by a single game, I think we're going to look back to yesterday and really blame Chris and Amy Day for them missing it.
Well,
this is terrible.
They should have had more fortitude.
Lynn Worthy of the Post-Dispatch already wrote about
pointed
out that they're not doing well on Chris and Amy Day.
Nope. No. You guys got to be better. I mean, that's the bottom line here.
That's what Steve says every time we have a meeting.
Yeah, you
guys need to be better.
He also says that with, why'd you talk about this? Why'd you make that decision?
And then next week, we don't talk about it. He's like, why don't you guys talk about that? Like, what do you mean? You're confusing us. Hey, so...
anyway, enough about us.
We had that all day yesterday. So Cardinals they're 8 games over 500, and trying to get to that 10 games over 500 thing has proved a little challenging. But it's overall, it's still very good what's happening here. And as Amy and I mentioned, we had a conversation with Benji and Polo yesterday, and we were talking off the air, and Benji mentioned that some of the peripherals with the Cardinals are not as good as last year, but they're still somehow playing better. Why do you think that's happening?
I think it's a better team. That's the first thing. From top to bottom, I think there's more talent on this team than there was last year. I think the style of play, where the word relentless has been used a lot this year. Just the fact that they do play a style, whether it's taking the extra base, whether it's the approach that they have at the plate, some of the defensive plays that have been made this year. I think this is a team that plays with an edge, and that has definitely impacted the win-loss record.
We talked about this yesterday with Chaim Bloom, with as Ron mentioned, Benji, Polo, Ricky Horton. Just the energy and the chemistry of this team is completely different than last year. And I asked Ricky Horton, I said, you can't really manufacture chemistry. He said you can't. He said you can try to foster it. You can try to create environment and situations where it might grow organically, but you can't force what this team has this year.
No, you can't, and you can try to put guys in a clubhouse that you feel like it's going to work that way, and that's probably what the point that Ricky was trying to make. And I think there are a lot of organizations out there that when they're making free agent decisions, when they're drafting players, they do look at character and they look at makeup and they do things like that, and that can help lead to what the Cardinals have right now, but there's certainly no guarantee of it. This is a group of guys that legitimately like each other and legitimately want to lift each other up. I think we saw that the Dustin May game a few days ago. The plays that were made, the Lars Nootbaar catch, Mason Wynn making multiple plays, and the enthusiasm that he had coming off the field after some of those plays that he made. It is clear and obvious that it was very, very important to them that they make plays as a way to support their pitcher and support their teammates. So yeah, that's a real thing. And I know, I hear myself say that, and it sounds like I'm being all rah-rah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm trying to do. That's a real thing. And if I think we saw that more in that Dustin May game than probably any other game this year because of the stakes that were involved as it was going. But I think that's how they feel every single day.
Just to add to that, Ricky said something that I don't think I've really heard before. I mean, maybe you guys have, but there's no true veteran presence on this team. The team is so young, aside from the coaches and Ali Marmol. And he said that when it comes to veteran leadership, it's almost like the coaches are the veteran players on the team, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy or two. Ryan Stanek is a legit veteran in the bullpen. Dustin May's been around for a while, but he doesn't have a ton of like Major League Baseball service time. That's for sure. And then everybody else is super. Lars Nootbaar is the old guy compared to all that.
He's not even 29 yet.
Yeah,
he is the oldest guy in the lineup.
So, I don't know about the coaches and the manager being the veteran guys, but I think this is a perfect group to lead these young players, and there is so much experience on this staff that are high-level player development coaches. When you look at Stubby Clapp, when you look at Pop Warner, when you look at Ollie, all these guys, that's how they cut their teeth in the world of baseball, working in the minor leagues. So I do think it is the correct coaching staff for this type of group.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty amazing that you've got the entire rotation. Nobody is 30. The bench players, nobody is 30. Starting lineup, nobody is 30. And you've got a couple of guys in the bullpen who are in their 30s, and that is it. I think we talk about the youth of this team, but it's really something when you actually look at the numbers and how young they really, really are. This is a very, very young team. It may be the Nationals are younger. It's close. I know between the two teams it's pretty close, but it's incredible what they're doing with the youth on the roster this season.
Yeah, it alternates back and forth. There's certain websites out there that track, youngest age, and depending on who's up from Memphis and things like that, it's bounced back and forth between them being the youngest team and the second youngest team in baseball. That doesn't really matter. They are super young, but they're young with guys with good makeup. That's the important thing. If you're going to be a young team, then you got to have young guys who know how to be professionals. And know about coming in, doing your work every day, and playing the game the right way, and all those kind of sportscaster cliche things that we talk about. But they're real. They're real. So again, super young team. If you had a bunch of clowns out there, if you had a bunch of guys who are not responsible, then that can be a problem. It's not a problem with this group because, to a man, these young guys know what it means to walk in, put your head down, and be able to play the game the right way.
Speaking of young players, there's a 22-year-old, almost 23, who's in the minor leagues and is forcing people to pay attention to him, and that's Joshua Baez. We asked Chaim Bloom about him, and of course, Bloom's not going to say, we're calling him up in a couple of weeks. That's not going to happen. And with the way the roster is made up right now, I don't think there's a place for him. Also, I got the impression that they are still going to be extremely careful with him, despite the fact he had a 4-home run game a couple of nights ago, that they are still very much paying attention to the peripheral stuff. How soon do you think it will be that we see him up here?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think he's going to be here this year. I think something's going to happen that's going to maybe a trade, maybe an injury. I don't know. I think there is going to have to be an external force that results in him getting here. Even somebody starting to play poorly. Nathan Church right now, since he's come back, he's a .321 hitter with a .780 OPS. That's not somebody that you're just looking to move on from, right? That's right. Lars Nootbaar, what he has been able to do. He's been somebody that's been a big part of this team since returning. He's got a .830 OPS. If one of those guys were to start playing very poorly, or if Nootbaar were to get traded, then there's that opportunity for you to open up the door for Baez. But I don't see where you put him on the roster right now because he has to play every day. And I do think the important thing I know we were joking about this on Sports Open Line yesterday because somebody texted in and said, you're talking about walk rate when he hit 4 home runs? And the answer is, yeah, we are, because there are still some things that are happening for him in the minor leagues that will be, when he gets to the big leagues,
exacerbated.
Exactly. Yeah. That's something that is not going to be as easy for him to overcome. So I think there are still some holes in his game that, in a perfect world, the Cardinals would like to fill up a little bit at the minor league level before he gets to the Cardinals.
Let's put it this way: if your strikeout rate is 31%, in the minor leagues, you can add a few percentage points at least when you come up here because the pitching is just better. You're facing big leaguers every day. When you're in AAA, you're not. So there's a much bigger difference there.
This is not me taking anything away from Baez. I want to be very, very clear on that. What he has done is very legitimate, and it's been fun. I look at some of the home runs he hits are off very good pitches. I will look at some of these pitches that he has seen at AAA that he's hitting home runs on, and it's like, okay, that is a pitch that he is never going to see in the big leagues. That is a terrible, terrible pitch, and there is nobody in the big leagues who is ever going to give him that pitch. That's not something he's going to have the opportunity to do in the big leagues.
So, yeah, I mean, it's true. And I said this the other day before the 4-homer game that I am perfectly fine with them being careful with him. There's no rush. There's no reason to get him up here right now.
I like the phrase Chaim Bloom used. You don't want to bring someone up undercooked.
Yeah. And we have learned from Chaim that the finishing the development at AAA is something that he values.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually not something that's valued across baseball very much. So AAA for a lot of organizations is just a final stop, and it's get those guys through AAA as quickly as possible and get them to the big leagues. The Cardinals are not taking that approach under Chaim Bloom. They look at AAA as being a very important part of the maturation process.
So this is a thought exercise. If Chaim Bloom is in charge 3 years ago, when Jordan Walker is called up, does he not get to start the season with them?
I don't think it's as a clear yes as it was then. They were in a really, really tough spot. They did not have outfielders, but he finished off that spring training very poorly. His final 2 weeks of spring training that year were not good, and those are the games that really, really matter going into the regular season. So whether it's Walker, whether it was Victor Scott making the team for the first time, I am not as convinced that under Chaim Bloom those guys would have been in the big leagues when they got there.
All right, last thing, Matthew Liberatore will start tonight in Kansas City, and that dude has not pitched. I think he's gotten into the 6th inning once.
Now.
Hello.
Hey.
Sorry about that. That's my fault.
It's my fault.
Oh, that's right.
Currently 10-16, 70, I don't know what the degrees is. That was the weather.
Like 78.
Okay. I could have done weather for you.
I'll figure this out for it. 76. Well done.
Okay, 76 degrees downtown St. Louis.
What do you think of Liberatore lately? Last month, I think he's finished 6 innings once in the last month and a half. He's gotten into the 6th twice total. To me, it's been underwhelming, and this month certainly has not been particularly good for him.
Yeah, underwhelming's a good word. In the first 2 starts in the month of June, he's got an ERA above 8, and he has not gotten out of the 5th inning in either of those appearances. It hasn't been good enough. There's 2 things with Liberatore. He has to find a way to have more success through the order on the 3rd time through, and he's got to find a fastball that works. He throws 3 different fastballs. None of them are effective. And that secondary stuff that he'll throw doesn't work if it can't play off a fastball. He's at his best when his curveball is working, and he hasn't thrown the curveball that much this year because it's been kind of a finicky thing for him where sometimes it's on and sometimes it's off. So he's got a lot of pitches. Unfortunately, his fastballs are not being effective right now. So if he can do that, if he can find a way to get one of his fastballs to be an effective major league pitch, I think everything else falls in behind him.
Pre-game show at 5:45 this evening. Redbird Rush Hour leading up to it at 5, correct?
Yes.
We'll have a whole lot of Matt Pauley tonight and then Cardinals baseball. Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
So Redbird Rush Hour 5, pregame 5:45, 6:40 first pitch from Kansas City, Cardinals and the Royals. And it'll be right here on 104.1 FM, KMOX and the Odyssey app.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately. Broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri is here for you with free, confidential support. Counselors help with stress, coping skills, and connect to resources. If the St. Louis tornado impacted you, visit moshowmehope.org from Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Major Garrett will be joining the show in about 10 minutes. Ricky Prohl is on the show at 11:30, the Battlehawks coach, former St. Louis Ram. And we have a mystery guest at 11. So we don't know who it is.
Matt has not told us.
He won't tell us anything about it except they're going to come in and he said you'll be fine.
And they're bringing a gift.
Oh, they're bringing a gift.
For you, yeah.
All right. So we don't know what the mystery guest is. Obviously, it's a mystery to us and to you. And I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Yeah, or not.
We'll
see.
When it's all over. Let me get real quick.
It's Steve with a pink slip.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise. Well, are you?
Well, didn't think this would happen on air.
I know one phrase that I'm going to say.
Hey, well,
I can't even say it.
I want to get into some of this World Cup stuff
Yeah.
that's been happening because it's been really a
Amazing.
lot of fun.
It's been just a bright light.
But I would like to congratulate, this is a thing I forgot to do. I want to congratulate the fans at Busch Stadium yesterday because unless I just missed it, before the game started, the national anthem happened, and we were guest bartending at the Mississippi River Yacht Club. So we were inside, we weren't not getting to hear it from the outside. I did not hear the Cardinals fans sing Home of the Blues
So here's
at the end
thing.
of the anthem. I didn't hear it.
We would have heard it. We were right there at the bar, either in the concourse, because people do it in the concourse.
They do it everywhere.
They do it everywhere, and in the stadium. And the bartender said they didn't do it, and she said, they usually do it.
I got to tell you. I hope I ruined it.
I think you
Thank
ruined it.
God, I hope I ruined it.
Because she was a kind of miffed, like, wait a minute, why don't you like it, Ranj? And I think you might have won her over.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good job, Cardinals fans.
that
Maybe it was the heat.
I think it was the heat. I think it was great that you pointed it out because I would not have noticed the absence of the Blues. And then I realized, you're right, I don't think they did it.
They didn't do it yesterday.
Wow.
I do hope I
you
ruined it. It's a thing, as I mentioned the other day, that it makes my skin crawl. I think there are very, very good sports fans here. Obviously, St. Louis loves sports. We were killing it in World Cup ratings, and we kill it in NFL ratings. These are two leagues that are, two sports leagues or organizations. Like, we don't have the NFL here, and we still watch and support. Obviously, baseball, hockey, we support. And soccer. This city has been very supportive of a team that's not been very good for the last few years. And you know what? I love it. I love the St. Louis sports scene. But the one thing that we do is the Home of the Blues, when it's not a Blues game, I think is so dumb. And I hate it.
He
Does
likes
like
it at the Blues games.
At the
but
Blues
not
games,
at the,
fine.
Not.
It makes my skin crawl when people do it at Cardinals games. And we had a lot of texters when we were talking about it on Tuesday, I think it was.
I think it was unanimous. We never
Did
get
not have
unanimity on the text line.
Did not have a single person say, "Oh, I like it. It's a lot of fun. Just let us have fun." No, everybody said, "Yes, I hate it too. It's so bad."
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So if we can,
Congratulations.
I hope that we fixed it. I guess we'll find out next Cardinals game at home.
What if we change it to the land of the free and the home of the sinkhole?
That doesn't make it doesn't work. But we could do Home of the Birds. If you want to do Home of the Birds,
Wow,
that's
John
fine.
watching on Facebook says, "Thank you, Ranj. Not all heroes wear capes."
I'm telling you, dude.
Wow, you single-handedly. You know what's wild?
You know what? I'm pretty proud of me.
You should be, although here's what I know, is Ranj has enough power to get the city of St. Louis to stop saying Home of the Blues, not at Blues games at the national anthem, but not enough power to get the Tarps Off crowd to roll call us because we did not get roll called.
Did not hear a roll call yesterday.
Maybe that's why the Cardinals lost.
That's right. We could blame the Tarps Off people. They didn't do a good job yesterday. Tarps Off. It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX, our weekly visit with Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett. That is next on KMOX.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union and Apair. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Before a nation, there was an idea. Before freedom, there was a sacrifice. This year, KMOX marks America's 250th birthday. Step into history with John Hancock and Michael Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, as they pulled you into the moment where everything was on the line. This is the sound of a nation being born. Celebrate America, 250 years strong, with Hancock and Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, only on KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
beautiful day in St. Louis, 76 degrees, maybe some clouds today, a high of 80. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a passing shower, a low of 62. Weather sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for their 26-point tune-up. It's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at Overhead Door, stlouis.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
You know, we invited Major Garrett to come to Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark yesterday because the Cardinals played his team, the Padres, and out of spite, he didn't show up, and the Padres won. So thanks a lot, Major Garrett.
Well, as you know, Ron, I would have been miserable company watching the Padres defeat the Cardinals, so it would have been a bad day for you guys. So you should be happy I wasn't there.
No, you're great company. I love Major Garrett at a baseball game. I think
you said he is not passive. He is not a passive fan.
I am an enthusiast. There's no doubt about it. But congratulations to the Cardinals. They won the season series 4-3, which could have implications in the wild card. So well done, Cards.
Well, thank you, Major. We'll take it.
We'll take it.
All right. Jumping into less fun news, but big news nonetheless, is the Iran deal, or the MOU at the very least, I guess is what they're calling it. And some of the details, please correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the details have come out about how much money will be unfrozen and what Iran will get out of this deal. And can you lay out some of the basics of this Iran deal as far as how much money they're getting, what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz and sanctions that seem to have been lifted?
So the Strait will open. That's the part that everyone agrees on. And there's already an increase in ship traffic, especially vessels leaving. The key metric the next 4 weeks or so will be how many vessels go back in. Because the ones that are leaving need to get out so they can transit the oil that they were holding for so long to their assorted destinations. So that is important globally, and oil prices traded globally have reflected that in a downward move in the last 2 days. So that's something that pretty much everyone agrees to. Strait of Hormuz is open. What does that mean for Iran? Well, it means Iran will sell oil and gain revenue from oil sales. And there will be some relief of sanctions agreed to by the administration over the time of this 60-day negotiation period. And no new sanctions can be applied. So that loosens up some of the restrictions on the Iranian economy as well. In addition, there's a $300 billion reconstruction fund, not provided by U.S. taxpayers, but provided by Gulf states and possibly some American businesses that may decide in the future to be part of these reconstruction projects. That last part, I think, is important. It doesn't really matter. Yes, I mean, it matters that the United States taxpayer is not putting this money on the table. But what is interesting regionally is that Gulf states during this war were attacked by Iran. Okay? Some of their infrastructure was damaged. It was not assumed when this war began that Iran would attack its neighbor nations, but it did. The neighbor nations now want to get back in Iran's good graces, so much so that they are willing to pay to rebuild things destroyed not by them, but by the U.S. and Israeli military. And what I think that indicates, and plenty of experts much smarter about this than I have told me this on my show, that indicates that the neighboring Gulf states want to get back in some kind of good graces with Iran because they believe Iran has taken the hardest military efforts from the United States and Israel, clung to power, used the Strait of Hormuz to force the United States and Israel to take a diplomatic off-ramp, and are still in the game, meaning the regime is still there, and all of its desires in the region must now be respected, so much so that neighboring Gulf states want to pay to rebuild things that they didn't even destroy, but the United States and Israel did. I think that's a pretty big takeaway from what we've learned so far.
So, if I remember history correctly, there's a number of billions that the Obama administration unfroze so that Iran could have access to it. It was their money and it had been frozen. Yep. And opponents of Obama were furious over it and made a big deal about it forever and ever and ever. And now here's $300 billion, and you're not hearing the same sort of pushback against it. So how does this work, Major, that this deal is somehow in any way better than what was in place before the war started, before all of our prices started going up? Right.
So I remember all the criticisms of the Obama deal. I covered the Obama White House at the time. I knew all of the arguments that they made, meaning the Obama White House, on behalf of the deal, and I know all the criticism from members of the Republican majority of the House and Senate at the time against the deal. And the arguments against the deal were, as you outlined, why are you unfreezing assets? Why are you unfreezing their funds? Well, the Obama administration said something that President Trump said yesterday. Well, it's hard to keep those funds frozen forever. It's practical truth. So we're going to do it because it's a good gesture. That's exactly what Obama administration said. And then the criticism was, why didn't you deal with other things that Iran does to destabilize the region? Its creation of ballistic missiles and its support of terrorist proxies in the region. And the Obama administration said, because we couldn't get to those deals and achieve what we wanted to on nuclear. It's exactly what this administration is saying, because ballistic missiles aren't covered and terrorist support through Iran revenue in the region not dealt with. Now, the administration argues, but their ballistic missile stockpiles have been degraded. That's true. But with money, Iran has proved over and over again it can rebuild those. It has a desire to, And once it has the revenue, which it's going to get back from oil sales and this reconstruction fund and probably unfrozen assets, we'll probably do that. I don't know for sure, but if past is prologue, that's what they're going to do. So your question was, how is this different? I don't know how it's different, other than Iran is less militarily strong than it was before this war began. But the regime is still there, and now it has the capacity, if it wants to rebuild those things. Yes, its Air Force has been degraded, its Navy has been degraded, but its Air Force and Navy were never really a point of projection of power anyway. It's their support for the Houthis in Yemen, support for Hezbollah in Lebanon, support for forces in Syria. That's no longer a part of the equation because the Syrian regime has changed. Support for Hamas in Gaza. All those things are still there for the Iranian regime. So what did Israel get out of this? What did the United States get out of this that wasn't available diplomatically? Both the Israeli and U.S. government say we had to take them down a peg or two militarily, so the glide path or the potential glide path to a nuclear weapon would be years and years and years down the road. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. What we're going to find out in the next 60 days is there actually a negotiated deal where all the highly enriched uranium that is still inside Iran is removed and destroyed? Because if that happens, then you can say with some degree of confidence the Iranian path to a nuclear weapon is significantly delayed by possibly 20 years or longer. But until that's achieved, you don't know what you've actually gotten out of this deal, except all the financial benefits we've just outlined that Iran gets pretty close to immediately, and then it goes back to what it likes to do, negotiate and drag them out over the long haul, over its nuclear ambitions.
Yeah, and Iran and the Iranian regime, they've proven themselves over and over again. They're not good faith actors. You can't trust what the Iranian regime is saying. And I know we talked about the Obama unfreezing, the 1.7 billion. And I believe that later that was connected, correct me if I'm wrong, that was connected to negotiations with American captives. And the same thing with Biden, the $6 billion, that was also connected to negotiations with freeing Americans in Iran. Right. So you have those two, which I understand is also its own issue if you want to separate that out. But if
there are Americans wrongfully detained in Iran right now who were never part of these conversations at all.
Yes.
Never.
Yeah.
And the administration has acknowledged that. They were never part of the conversation at all, which you ought to ask yourself, is that a good idea or not? I don't know. But I certainly raised that with the Obama administration, and President Obama was very unhappy that I did. There's a very famous exchange you can watch on YouTube about that. And that's not part of the Trump administration's approach either. So if you're asking yourself, because there's a lot of rhetoric that we have from very recent vintage, I mean like 2 or 3 weeks old rhetoric of Republicans saying, this president is the first one bold enough to take on the Iranian regime, courageous enough to do what no other American president would do. Okay, fine. To what end? To what end is the Iranian regime gone? No, it's not. Some in the region believe it's actually stronger, has fewer weapons, but has taken the blow, the military blow of Israel and the United States, and still survived. Mm-hmm. And in the region, that matters. That casts a shadow. It casts a shadow so large that people who, again, I want to emphasize this point because I think it's super important. Iran sent drones and missiles into neighboring Arab states and Gulf countries for the first time ever. And having received those blows, those countries are now willing to put money on the table to rebuild stuff they didn't destroy, but the United States and Israel did inside Iran. What does that tell you about their takeaway from this conflict?
Yeah, and that is why there's so many questions around this too, because as you mentioned the Strait of Hormuz and whether or not, will there now be tolls after the war? Does Iran have more power over the strait when before it was open? And the billions of dollars of unfrozen assets, it dwarfs what Biden and Obama gave to Iran. And then, like you mentioned, $300 billion from neighboring countries, private investment, to build up Iran under a regime that is younger and potentially more radical than the previous one.
Possibly. All that stuff is true. All that stuff is true. And the unfreezing of the assets, the administration says, and I believe the vice president's in the White House briefing room right now, he might be reiterating this, will be performance-based. So if Iran doesn't comply, then those assets won't be unfrozen. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. You asked about the Strait of Hormuz. In the beginning of my program last night, in my monologue, I read from paragraph 5 of the Memorandum of Understanding. And it says there'll be no tolls in the Strait of Hormuz for 60 days. After that, Iran and Oman will negotiate about administrative methodologies. I'm paraphrasing. What? Iran and Oman will negotiate about administrative procedures? Well, that doesn't. Why am I obsessing about that is because it doesn't rule out tolls or some kind of fee that you're going to have to pay to go through the strait, which is tightest where? When Iran and Oman are right next to each other geographically. So the tightest point is going to be negotiated after the 60 days by Iran and Oman, which leaves open the possibility of some kind of tolling mechanism. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Most Gulf states don't want that to happen. But again, if the Gulf states are willing to put up $300 billion in reconstruction, they might buy it just to obtain some kind of passive relationship with Iran. So you can't rule it out. So when the president said yesterday over and over again, the Strait of Hormuz is open permanently, that's not what the Memorandum of Understanding that he signed at the Palace of Versailles last night says. Just go and read it. You can find it anywhere. You can find it at cbsnews.com. All the text is there. And paragraph 5 says no tolls for 60 days. After that, subject to negotiations. Well, that means Iran is keeping its options open.
As far as, before we let you go here, the Supreme Court and the rulings that we are expecting here, is there one in particular that you are interested in or think we should be paying attention to?
Well, definitely the birthright citizenship one. And everyone who watches the court, including the person I turn to first, Jan Crawford, our Supreme Court correspondent and legal analyst, premier, believes the Supreme Court will rule possibly 9-0 against President Trump, trying to eliminate the concept in the Constitution of birthright citizenship, or she says maybe it's 7-2, but it will be decisively against the administration. That's a very big case because this president and his Justice Department and his Solicitor General have tried to argue something that no American president has ever argued before, that the 14th Amendment doesn't mean what it says. Doesn't mean what it says in plain language, doesn't mean what it said in subsequent Supreme Court rulings and adjacent federal law. All about this hard approach to what immigration means in this country and what it means to be born in this country. Being born in this country since the 14th Amendment meant automatically you're a citizen. This president said, no, I disagree, and I want the entire Supreme Court to invalidate all this precedent, history, and evolution in American thought on this. And it appears the Supreme Court at some point this term, which means the next couple of weeks, will decisively tell the president, not only are you wrong, but you are wrong on a bipartisan basis in the court. And I think that'll be an important moment whenever it happens.
Major, we appreciate you, and we will speak next week.
We'll talk next week.
Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. His show is called The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. You can watch or listen to it. It happens daily. And also his book, The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. That's Major Garrett with us every Thursday on 104.1 FM KMOX. Cannot wait for our mystery guest at 11.
I know.
All Amy and I know is we don't know who it is.
Or what the gift is.
And then we're getting a gift.
Maybe it's Steve with the jerseys that he took back from us. Remember when he gave us soccer jerseys?
The inaugural soccer season?
Yeah, for City SC, he gave us jerseys and took them back.
Hey, try these on. Oh, these are really cool jerseys. Like, all right, I'll give them back. Like, what? What kind of gift is that? It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. KMOX.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Come out to Hot Shots on Lindbergh this Friday between 12 and 2 p.m. to celebrate 150 years of Budweiser. Don't miss out on a fresh day of brewed Budweiser and a chance to win great prizes while mingling with KMOX sports talent and sports manager Tom Ackerman. And while you're there, don't miss the chance to stay and watch the U.S. versus Australia game on the big screens while enjoying a Budweiser. All happening Friday at Hot Shots on Lindbergh. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Hence 8-1 exclusions apply.
What if you could better understand your risk for chronic disease and cancer before symptoms ever begin? With your disease risk from Siteman Cancer Center, you can take a quick, evidence-based assessment that looks at factors like family history, lifestyle, and everyday habits to provide personalized insights about your health. Your health story is shaped by more than genetics. Nutrition, physical activity, sleep, tobacco use, and routine screenings all play an important role in your future well-being. Knowing how these factors work together can help you make informed decisions and take action earlier. When it comes to prevention, knowledge is powerful. In just a few minutes, your disease risk can help you better understand your health risks and provide practical guidance to support a healthier future. Take the first step today. Prevention begins with awareness. Visit siteman.washu.edu/YDR. That's siteman.washu.edu/YDR.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. And again, we appreciate you for coming out to Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark yesterday, even though the Cardinals lost. We had a really nice time meeting many of you and
It was awesome.
serving you drinks and
Thank
all the
you.
fun stuff that we did.
Thank you to everybody who came out. Thank you to the St. Louis Cardinals who really rolled out the red carpet. But it was so much fun seeing all of the listeners. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed taking advantage of $15 tickets, in this economy.
Yeah,
We had people who came down on their birthday.
that's right. There were a
Yep.
couple of birthdays.
A couple of birthdays,
Yeah.
which is really fun that they decided to spend their special day at the Chris and Amy show at the ballpark. We do have a couple of texts that are blaming Ranj for killing the vibe. Hey,
Yeah.
Chris, we only lost because you killed the vibe. You did not go tarps off.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the tarps off section was underwhelming yesterday.
Well, here's the
And
thing. It was hot, and
it
the
was really
Cardinals
hot.
were losing.
They were losing. It was hot.
But also, you had your shirt on, and you walked up there, and the whole place deflated.
No,
I
it
think
was all.
that's-
No, we were walking into a deflated hot air balloon.
I'm not
It was
sure.
like, we were walking up into one of those bouncy castles that had not been fully inflated, or maybe there was a hole in it. That's what was going on up there.
Well,
It was hot.
we had another texter.
I was in the
618.
self-respect section.
You were in the self-respect.
You guys were in the tarps off. I was in the self-respect
Matt
section.
and I walked over to tarps off for a bit, but it was the Cardinals struck out, and then the Padres were batting, and it was kind of womp womp. But I think we just kind of went at a moment when it was a little deflated. A texter asks if Al Raboski took off his shirt,
He
and
did not.
if he did not, maybe that's why they lost.
It could be that. I mean, he
could
can't take his shirt off every time.
You can't. It's less special.
Right. He did it once.
Yeah.
He slammed a Bud Light. He took his shirt off, and, it was great.
We also have a texter asking us, okay, so when will Chris and Amy show be broadcasting live from inside the sinkhole day? Okay, first of all, a little bit long for a title, but I really appreciate where you're going with that. The Chris and Amy show broadcasting live from the sinkhole day. We don't want to be inside the sinkhole because the sinkhole was created by broken pipes spewing raw sewage. So I think we need to be next to the sinkhole, which is what another 314 says. Chris and Amy Day at the sinkhole? Question mark.
Also, we are going to be throwing all of our problems into the sinkhole.
It's a great
so
idea.
the truck that caught fire this morning, which, by the way,
Is it
we are
out?
told it's got to be out by now. It's been a couple of hours, and we were told that our very own Sean Malone is down there covering it, taking a look at the truck fire, and is going to report back to us if anything significant happens.
Okay.
If he has any good findings, he'll report back to us. But we do have our people on it. Don't you worry.
This is your best sinkhole coverage.
This is your best source for sinkhole coverage and truck fire coverage near the sinkhole.
We're in sinkhole mode.
And we think you should text us in. All of our problems we're throwing into the sinkhole. Tell us what you think we should throw into the sinkhole. Let us know at 314-436-7900. The mystery guest is next, and I can't wait.
What? Ugh.
We'll find out soon on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Pinterest is looking to fight increasing AI slop with the help of Amazon's cloud services. Pinterest announced a $4 billion deal with Amazon Web Services to modernize the social media platform, with Pinterest saying it's addressing complaints of AI-generated slop. Pinterest says curators are suffering from frequently hacked accounts, with automated bots initiating false suspensions for spam violations. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock, and we've got sunshine with some clouds in downtown St. Louis, 76 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. As President Trump returns to Washington after signing the Memorandum of Understanding to end the war in Iran, some lawmakers are questioning whether the U.S. got swindled in the deal. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
Republican Senator Bill Cassidy posting before the war, the strait was open, Iran was being crushed by sanctions, and 13 service members were still alive. Now, 13 Americans are dead. Families have paid billions at the pump. Sanctions will be lifted, and the bombing has stopped. Adding, this is the worst foreign policy blunder in decades.
President Trump is firing back at his critics, saying those who think he hasn't been tough enough on Iran are, quote, either jealous, bad people, or stupid.
An initial agreement to end the war calls for Tehran to dilute its stockpile of highly enriched uranium, which would waive sanctions on the country, immediately allowing Iran to sell its oil freely. It's called an aggressive solicitation bill, but some are concerned a proposed St. Louis County ordinance goes too far. The bill would bar asking people for money at bus stops near banks and ATMs, on highway on-ramps, from drivers in traffic, and any time between sunset and 9 in the morning. The council put that on hold this week instead of taking a vote. The only resident who spoke on the bill, Spencer Harris, urged the council to vote no.
This bill presents itself as a bill to address aggressive solicitation, which is an issue that I've never experienced. I've never heard anyone, talk about experiencing in this county.
Bill sponsor Councilman Mike Archer said the goal is to keep people off busy roadways. It now heads back to committee, where it could change before coming back for a vote. The U.S. Supreme Court this morning has weighed in on whether habitual drug users can legally own a firearm.
The Supreme Court's decision was unanimous, ruling that a long-standing federal ban on guns for unlawful users of any controlled substance is unconstitutional, especially as applied to a Texas man who simply consumed marijuana several times a week and was prosecuted.
That's ABC's Devin Dwyer. Justice Neil Gorsuch, who wrote the opinion, said it is a narrow one and says it limits but does not end the government's power to take guns away from drug users. Ballpark Village is getting its Starbucks back. The Starbucks in Ballpark Village closed in October of 2024. It's now back open and owned by the CEO of a Detroit-based firm that also operates Chick-fil-A restaurants.
Some places get a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, clouds, intervals of sun, and cooler with low humidity and a high of 78. Patchy clouds, low 62 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, we've got sunshine and some clouds, 76 degrees downtown. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door Summer Tune-Up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
You know, I don't mind surprises if I'm in the mood for it. I don't know if I'm in the mood for this surprise.
You're in the mood.
You can cancel if you want.
You can't be crabby.
Can we? No
Remember
gifts
when
on
I
crabby.
There was a little kid, remember yesterday, right before we did the trivia on the scoreboard at Busch Stadium with
The
Todd
trivia
Thomas.
was easy.
It was great trivia. I was pretty worried because I would be one of those man on the street interviews where I just look like a complete idiot because I forget my own name. At any rate, there was a kid behind us who looked very hot and very unhappy.
Ready to go home.
Maybe like 3 years old, 4 years old. And Todd Thomas tried to get him to smile and he wouldn't smile. His face was red. He looked like on the verge of tears. So I told the kid, I was like, hey, you think you're crabby? This guy, Chris Ranji's crabby.
Yeah,
and
he's
his
too hot.
mom asked, are you crabby? She did. She asked you if you were crabby.
Yeah. And I said, leave me alone, woman.
No, you said a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's too hot. It's too damn hot.
I was so sweaty. I almost had, oh my gosh.
The heat is too damn hot.
We got to go on top of the dugout to shoot T-shirts.
Yeah, we threw T-shirts out at the people.
Slingshot T-shirts with Fred Bird.
Yep.
But we had to sit there in the sun, and the Padres had the longest inning ever while we were sitting there in the
Two
sun.
pitching changes, too.
An injury to
Ollie
the catcher.
kept coming out of the dugout. I'm like, come on, man. Just let it ride.
And we were sitting there
Who
in
cares?
the sun, absolutely baking. And Ranj looked at me and said, are you going to have an oh, honey moment?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was sweating through my shorts. And one time I wore khaki shorts to the stadium, and it was so hot. And when I stood up to go get a hot dog, the woman behind me said, oh, honey.
Oh, because you were
sweating
You
pretty
had a
bad.
little sweat stain.
All right,
huh?
our guests are
All right.
opening the door. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is ridiculous.
It's
Okay.
the Weeds from the Millennium Hotel.
All right, so
The Weeds and a whole party here.
This
We've
is
got
incredible.
a whole gang is here. Oh my gosh.
So the
From the
Ryan McClure is
from
here,
the Gateway Arch Park Foundation,
and they have brought the weeds from
they
the
have
Millennium
brought the
Hotel.
weeds.
Okay,
Ryan
Ryan.
McClure. I am trying. See, here's the thing. I can get very shrieky, and apparently it's bad radio to be shrill.
Well,
And I could be shrieking right now, so I'm trying to stay calm and in the lower register. But this is so awesome that
They're
is
here.
this for real?
Yeah, they're.
Or is this from your patio?
Clearly, this thing is famous enough to have its own mic. So
okay,
It is in front of a microphone.
So Ryan, I
Ryan,
have to-
is this it? This is it.
These are the
here's-
weeds?
Here's the thing. You all, every time I come here,
Good Lord.
Oh my
you
gosh.
all ask for the weed on that lived on the top of the Millennium Hotel.
Yes.
Okay. And as a marker of like our relationship and your support for the foundation and what we do, we thought of no better way to honor that than to bring this. And you are now the caretakers of the weed from the top of the Millennium Hotel.
Okay, so
This is
I have to be honest.
unbelievable. If you're not streaming,
Also, we have a certificate of authenticity. That's very important. You're going to want to hold
All right.
on to this.
All right.
It shows you where it came from on the roof.
This is
Date of issue. That's today. It's signed by me. So we will leave that with you.
Okay, so
this is so unbelievable.
we now own the weeds from the Millennium Hotel. I have to be honest with you. You know the old saying about the dog chasing the car?
Now you don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do with these weeds. I got these. I have no idea what to do with these. Okay,
I love
have we?
these weeds. I've got room for
have
the
we-
weeds. I think we should.
have
you know
we
what?
ins-
Maybe we should be
These are
traveling.
my weeds.
No, but it could be an exhibit.
Yeah, we
where
gotta make
we
'em.
have it here in the
Yeah.
studio for a week, and then it gets to come like the Stanley Cup, and then it gets to go to my house for a week.
So-
this is my Stanley Cup.
And another thing I wanted to tell you. So this, when did we get this off the roof?
Last Thursday.
So since Thursday, Alex and his wife Madison have been taking care
Wow,
of
they
this
look
to make
great.
sure.
How do you take care of
Yeah.
weeds?
because we did take it out of its natural habitat.
Yeah. The roof
which
of the
was
hotel.
the roof of a abandoned hotel.
Yeah. So you're saying full sun.
I think so.
This is a full sun plant.
I'm not aware of any shade up there. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
all right, I have a question.
Wow.
Do we know what these weeds are? Has a botanist looked at them?
We believe it's a white
white
willow.
willow.
Yeah,
White willow.
which are not native to Missouri. So
how did it get here?
Oh my gosh! Did the building owners in Singapore? Did they bring this from Singapore?
I don't think so.
I thought maybe it was a real cross
But
cultural
we did this research yesterday. It was like, are these native to Missouri? And we found out they're not. And they're like, let's not get into that. But then I did. So
Where are
here we
they
go.
native to?
I don't know.
Can we get our research team on the white willow weed? I'm trying to think. What if it fell off a plane? What if a seed fell off of an international flight, like a wheel? You know what I mean?
Like
wheel?
rats on a cargo ship that come from somewhere else?
More like this white willow grows in the airports, maybe in Singapore, and the business owners were like, let's go fly to see our building.
So
And
White
it
Widow is
sticks-
cannabis, it says.
What's
or
that?
White Widow. White Widow is cannabis, sorry.
No, this is white willow.
This is white willow. Yeah.
They didn't just bring
But
in
here's-
a weed plant.
We're talking about this plant's story,
Well, hello.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we also want to make sure that the public are telling their stories about the millennium. So we're doing this story collection initiative. You can go to archpark.org/stories. And you can tell your story of the Millennium Hotel. So if you all have stories, memories, we
Wow.
were just in the lobby. Our friend at the front desk, Michael, I don't know if you all know this, used to be a chef at the top of the Riverfront restaurant.
He did?
Really?
He said late
new
80s.
here. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
okay.
late 80s, early 90s.
Oh wow.
He was telling us that like he cooked a steak for George Foreman.
Oh,
like
And
the
that's where
George
he got
Foreman.
his idea? Is
Maybe.
that- Did you
I
grill
mean,
this steak?
I think Michael needs some royalties.
Oh my gosh.
But this is this building. I mean,
Wow.
obviously has a lot of memories for this community. We are tasked with moving forward and making this site an economic engine for St. Louis again. But at the same time, we want to honor the memories and the history that folks. Mostly the memories that folks have and nostalgia of this building. So that's why we're doing this story collection initiative.
This is really cool. And archpark.org/stories is the website to go to. And so I know
Brian
we've had
McClure
you
is
in to
my favorite.
We've had you in to talk about
This is so fun.
We've had you in to talk about
I want that on a certificate,
Yes,
please.
the certificate of authenticity. It was said
Is
on
Ryan McClure
KMOX.
is Amy's favorite.
Our printer's not as good as yours, so you're not going to get.
That's all right. I mean, I'll take a 8.5 by 11.
The certificate's not going to look
The
quite as good.
magenta is always an issue, which is weird for black and white printing. But
So we've talked about the new facility, the new
Yeah.
complex that's going up here, and people are excited about it. We are. The skyline's going to look a whole lot different from not just the Illinois side, but just sitting inside Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot with the Millennium Hotel coming down.
Yeah. I mean, look, this building's been in right field. Right field now for two stadiums, right? So I remember going to Old Busch Stadium and seeing this building in the skyline. And what folks are seeing today when you go to a Cardinal game is progress. You're seeing something that you can believe in, that St. Louis is taking matters into its own hands and taking something that was the symbol of what was wrong with downtown and making it right. And I hope what people take from that is inspiration and belief, and knowing that there's progress. And so, to your point, Chris, the skyline is going to change in a way that we can be proud of as a community. High-rise apartment building, Class A office space, ground floor retail. So it's not just about what's in the skyline, it's about what's on the ground, and that there's going to be more of a connection from Busch Stadium all the way to the riverfront.
So again, I know timelines can change, and depending on how construction goes and whatever else has to happen, to be safe, when do we think all of this will be completed?
So what we're responsible for as the owners of the site right now is the demolition, right? So we know that the demolition will likely complete by the end of next year. So Spiritus Wrecking Company has been doing an amazing job. Their logos on your little your plant
the
pot
pot
there. But they've been doing an amazing job. Great partner to work with. So the site will be clear by the end of next year. And at that point, Cordish will take over as the developer. So it remains to be seen when you'll actually be seeing construction like coming out of the ground. But the foundation will be laid for that. I shouldn't say the foundation will be. That's a construction term.
There you go.
The site will be cleared for them to start by the end of next year.
So, all right,
so
these
exciting.
weeds here,
Yeah.
they came from the roof.
Yeah.
How did the process go? Like, who do you tell?
Yeah, how did you? Yes, thank you.
Who
How?
has to go up and get them?
Yeah.
What do you?
So, again, Spiritus is an amazing partner to work with, and we've taken some things out of the building for posterity, and this would be one of those things, right? So
Plans for posterity.
they are working on that section of the building right now. So if you go downtown or you're in Busch Stadium, you'll see they're kind of taking out the windows of the top of the riverfront restaurant. And so while they were doing that, we're like, hey, could you get this weed? We have some folks that are very interested in it.
They're like, you want what?
Really? What did they say?
They were like, Spiritus, as long as it's safe for their work, that's priority number one always, which we appreciate.
So nobody risked their life.
No,
for
no,
this.
no. Nobody.
That'd have been
this is
pretty
all,
cool.
I'm sure OSHA compliant.
Yeah.
And we ask certain things like, is this something you can do safely? And this was.
This is like, you usually only see the Pope from a distance, if at all.
I know.
It's like
It's a lot taller than I thought it would be.
This is like being up close to the Pope.
Taller than you.
Yeah, it's taller than I thought it would be.
I am.
Yeah.
I think it is
Well,
the top
I had
of that
to
weed.
duck through the entire studio here. I kept hitting it on the ceiling. And I was like, I can't ruin this thing before it gets to its
How
home.
do we take care of this thing? Like, we
Full
don't
sun.
know. Full sun.
That
So it
is
needs to be outdoors.
That is completely up to you. This certificate says you're the caretaker now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get to figure it out. I really like, because we were asking, how did this, non-native to Missouri plant get to the top of the Millennium Hotel? We have a texter who's either confused about the nature of his job or just wanted to throw in a fact that doesn't matter. But as an economist, he can promise you that the weeds started growing on top of the hotel and placed there from bird poop. I'm not sure what being an economist has to do with that.
Oh.
As an economist, he said he can tell you that the weed, birds poop, they eat seeds. Boom, there you go.
And
Weeds on the Millennium Hotel.
The white willow is a native to Europe and Central Asia.
Yeah,
if
that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. And I think that bird flew far and had to go.
That's a.
I
bet its arms
I
were
also
tired.
want to point out that we are not botany experts either.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not a white willow. That's just our best.
your guess?
That's the best guess. We got that from somewhere.
At any point when you were transporting this thing, were you thinking, should we not be doing this?
Yeah.
There must have been a.
No.
How far does
like I
asbestos
said,
grow?
it's your problem now.
I gotta tell you,
I mean, this is the
best
most-
gift I've ever gotten.
This is.
I love it.
We love it.
But seriously, I mean, I genuinely, we're very grateful for your interest in this project and what we're doing as an organization. We obviously take it very seriously. I'm just one of 18 people, several of whom are here in the studio with us today, that care a whole heck of a lot about St. Louis and making St. Louis the best that it can be. When you all tell those stories, it means a lot to us, and it helps us do our work. So we appreciate that.
When I moved back to St. Louis and I went to the Cardinals game and I was sitting on the first base side and I looked up and I saw these weeds on the top of that hotel, I never thought I'd own them.
No, you never do.
I never thought.
You know why? It's scary
so
to
you
dream
weren't
that
like,
big.
someday I'll own that.
I never. No.
Okay.
Not why. I was never like, I'm going to get those weeds.
Yeah. It's
I just
scary
was
to dream
amazed
that
they
big.
were up there.
Yeah, I think we all were. But now here they are in your studio.
This is
Ryan?
amazing. And then the certificate of authenticity, I think, just really drives it home.
It really does.
It's an exhibit at this point. All we have to do is frame that certificate, and we've got ourselves an exhibit.
Without that certificate, I'm not
You
sure
don't know
that
where
I trust
it came
it.
from.
That's
yeah,
right.
the certificate really, it tells you it's real.
This is
Ryan
wonderful.
McClure is the absolute best. The Gateway Arch Park Foundation. Wow.
So don't forget to submit your memories. archpark.org/stories.
Yeah.
This is,
You know what?
This is a highlight for me.
This makes me want
This
to.
is way better than Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark.
This is unbelievable. This is the
We had a
highlight
whole
of
day
the
at the
week.
Cardinals game
I
yesterday?
never thought this would be the highlight of the week. Well, it makes me, our love for you guys makes me want to push even harder for our idea to use the Rams money, which was to build a slightly smaller arch under the current arch.
Yeah.
Are you into that? Or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are definitely.
You guys deserve it.
Yeah, thank you. The Rams money will be important for downtown and for the entire community, and it's no secret. I mean, we're working on a riverfront project that could benefit from the Rams funds, so we hope that comes through.
We're planting this in the sinkhole.
No,
We're
we
putting
can't.
the weeds in the sinkhole.
No, we can't do that. The hole
There's
is too
dirt.
big.
There's dirt and water.
Wrong kind of water. I'm taking this
All
home.
this thing.
I'm going to make an exhibit out of this.
These aren't your weeds. What the hell are you talking about?
We have to share them, I think.
feel like you can split this up somehow.
Yeah, we probably will.
What's it called? Propagating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
We need to get a botanist. Tell us how to take care of this thing.
Yeah.
Ryan McClure, Gateway
I would
Arch.
get one today if you can.
It's looking it is looking a little sickly.
His time is of the essence.
I can see that. This plant is in hospice. Ryan McClure, Gateway Arch Park Foundation. Thank you for coming in.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you all for what you do.
Archpark.org/stories. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with the new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Brazil comes in hungry after years without a title, led by a dynamic young striker and supported by a technically gifted midfield. Their blend of flair, pace, and tactical versatility makes them one of the most dangerous sides in the tournament.
What if your bathroom felt less like a routine and more like a daily escape? Glover here for my friends at Michael's Baths. They can transform ordinary bathrooms into beautiful, comfortable spaces for homeowners across St. Louis and all the surrounding areas. And now they're introducing new premium walls, perfect for those who love the look of stone without the upkeep. It's sleek, durable, and designed to elevate your space. For a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or upgrade with safety features like grab bars or a built-in seat. Call us at 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
A common question I receive is,
How is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
The financial industry is getting rich on baby boomers. Don't be their next victim. Find out the truth of what's really going on in the retirement industry. Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
The pitch. Mason Wynn hits it hard. Deep left field. That ball's out of here.
Community America Credit Union has been helping people like you and me, shortstop Mason Wynn, to win big for 85 years. Cash back with your free checking. Win. No service fees or minimum balance. Win. Bank anywhere, anytime with their app. Win. So yeah, with Community America, you can win. And so can I. Mason Wynn. Community America Credit Union. Invested in St. Louis. Invested in you.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Now, Chris and Amy visit with the KMOX newsroom.
And now we go to our guy, Sean Malone, who is at the site of the St. Louis sinkhole. We've gone from the Millennium Hotel weeds to now the sinkhole here in St. Louis. And Sean, there was a truck fire this morning. What's going on down there right now?
Yeah, so the good news, I'll start with that first, is that nobody was hurt in the truck fire, and it doesn't seem to be interrupting the work being done on the sinkhole at all. But, just another chapter to this story here. A city street department vehicle caught fire early this morning, and it was quite a significant fire. I'm looking at it right now, and I see just the charred remains, a couple parts of the vehicle, including a door that is so heavily charred. The only letters you can still make out is the second half of the word department. Now, as for what caused the fire, that's not yet known at this time. But like I said, the good news here seems to be it's certainly not interrupting the work that is going on, probably about 100 feet away, with the work on the sinkhole itself and also the mains that caused the sinkhole.
Okay, and you, like you said, we don't know how the truck caught fire because, I saw the pictures of it.
Were there workers there?
It looked like an explosion. It was so big.
It was so big. If you actually, I'm standing here, but I'll describe it for you. If you look up at the edge of southbound 44, it charred the interstate. I don't know if it's smoke or if it's actually anything that, the interstate itself caught fire, but it's blackened. The side of the interstate and a little bit of the underneath of it as well from this fire. It was quite a significant fire that this vehicle underwent.
That's wild. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if you said this or not, but there were no workers on site, or were there? Or
there were workers on site. They were able to actually help contain the fire with fire extinguishers, I've been told, at least until the city fire department was able to get here and finish the job. So there were workers on site. This didn't just spontaneously combust and nobody was around to see it. And they got back from, I guess, breakfast break at that point, that early, a coffee break. And, dude, where's the vehicle? I thought it was here. What's all this charred black stuff? It's not like that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Weird that they were there and don't really know how that happened. How was the smell? Because I was saying a friend who lives downtown, when the sinkhole first happened, they could smell it. They're like, what is that smell? Because of course they were downtown where they live. Is it still pretty bad down there or not?
The smell, I don't personally smell anything here. I would say I'm probably the worst person to ask, though, because even pre-COVID, I never had a great sense of smell. I've still got 20/20 vision, so I guess that's kind of like the reverse Daredevil, where I've still got good eyesight, but my other senses are weaker. But I don't smell anything, but I would imagine, from what I've heard, that these were MSD lines, the mains that caused this. So, yeah, I would imagine that if it's one of the sewer district lines that broke and not a water main, then, yeah, there would reasonably be a smell that would follow it also. But personally, it doesn't really smell any different than any other highway, walking underneath a highway overpass would.
Are there gawkers, or have the gawkers dispersed?
Right now, I'm the only gawker that's here,
Okay.
Yeah.
actually. So
Could you-
here on assignment, at least. I'm not here just naturally drawn to it like my inner Neanderthal does. Right, Amy?
Yeah, men are always standing around holes in the ground. They're just standing
Holes
there.
in the ground. You throw a rock off a cliff and wait to see it splash down in the water
Yeah.
below, break a giant block of ice. Like, we're simple creatures at the end of the day.
All right.
It's not hard to keep us busy and entertained.
A couple of things. We did decide that we're just going to use that hole to throw all the things that we don't want into it. So, like, we decided that, and it wasn't our idea. Somebody else suggested to just push the truck into that. I think if we have any other issues, we'll throw it into the sinkhole. We're considering planting the weeds in the sinkhole.
No,
we don't really
are
know
not.
what to do.
The weeds deserve better treatment.
So that's number one. Number two, could you scout a location for us to do a show down there?
Like down deep inside the
No,
hole?
next
Down
to
in the
it.
hole? Is that
Adjacent.
what you mean?
It's going to be Chris
I mean,
and
if
Amy
you're willing
at the
to
sinkhole.
risk getting pooped on by pigeons, there's a lot of open area here underneath the interstate, which would be good just in case it winds up raining. You won't get rained on, at least not with like water rain, but you might have some pigeons pooping on you.
Well, that might work. Thanks. Thanks, Sean.
Hey, one quick thing I want to
Yes.
add with the Chris and Amy day at the ballpark yesterday, which is a great time. Clark Kent's disguise of just putting on glasses makes a lot more sense seeing Ranji without glasses at the ballpark yesterday because you look like a totally different person.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would not have recognized you had it not been your day at the ballpark.
Right? Thank you, Sean. That
That's
is
awesome.
so true.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Sean Malone from the KMOX newsroom joining us from the sinkhole.
From the sinkhole.
And when we come back, we're going to talk to Ricky Prohl.
Nice.
Ricky Prohl, coach of the Battlehawks, and also happens to be a former St. Louis Ram, and he'll be on the show when we come back in just a moment. And yes, Amy?
Go ahead.
Well, I need to tell you a little bit about FanDuel. Because on FanDuel, right now, you know, the biggest stage in sports is lit. It's happening. It's going on at the moment. And FanDuel is changing the game right now. Because if you've bet soccer, and let's say you've bet a player, and that player gets subbed out, your bet goes along with them. And FanDuel decided that's probably not the best thing to do, and there's got to be a better way. So they came up with FanDuel Super Sub, which means if your player is subbed out, your bet will stay in the game. So, again, your player leaves the match, your bet goes on with the substitute who comes in for him. So you're still going to be in the game right up until the final whistle. So they want you to stay involved in the action with FanDuel, and this is a really fun way to do it. FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up and get started. If you haven't done it already, FanDuel.com/Missouri. The app is safe, it's secure. It is very easy to use. I've been talking to you about it for months now. And if you haven't signed up, FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Around baseball, they're talking about St. Louis, a youth movement that's not waiting for the future. Names like Walker, Wynn, and Weatherholt aren't projections anymore. They're the conversation right now. And in a city where expectations never change, the conversation gets louder. Join the conversation. The Gas House Gang. Weekdays at noon. This is Cardinals talk that doesn't flinch.
The wait is over. The new Omaha Steak store is now open in Baldwin at 15305 Manchester Road in Central Plaza. Shop now for 50% off store-wide and enjoy delicious doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. For more than 100 years, Omaha Steaks has delivered the world's best steak experience. From extra-aged USDA-certified tender steaks to pure ground burgers, air-chilled chicken, premium pork, and so much more. Every bite is handcrafted by master butchers and backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Stop by the new Omaha Steak store in Baldwin today to discover the Omaha Steaks difference.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Absolutely gorgeous today. We are at 77 right now, a high today of 80, maybe some rain or a thunderstorm later, otherwise just partly cloudy with a passing shower, a low of 62. Weather sponsored by Ricken Financial.
Join Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost for Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement, every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX. And get more, including the Kickin' with the Rickens podcast, when you visit RickenFinancial.com.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Backs are split behind Kurt Warner. Takes, back to throw, under some pressure. Rainbows the far sideline, and it is caught.
Yes!
Touchdown
Yes!
Rams! Yes! Ricky Prohl!
Yes! And he went deep on that.
Ricky Prohl, the veteran. Listen to this crowd.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX, and we are joined in studio now by Super Bowl champion, a couple of times actually, and former St. Louis Ram, and now the Battlehawks head coach Ricky Prohl is with us in studio, and a couple of guys from the team just picked up by NFL teams. We'll get into that in a second, but Ricky, first of all, thank you for being here. It's good to see you again.
Well, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And secondly, we were just talking about the players on your team, and how Amy and I, we talk to about one a week, maybe one every other week.
Done a lot of interviews now,
during the season, and your guys are just incredible. They've all of the interviews have been really, really good, and I'm sure there are various reasons for it. Maybe just have a good collection of dudes, but they're all
not a single dud. Every interview, we're just like, they are
interesting,
brilliant,
people.
Interesting, talented. Rocket scientists from Harvard. I'm like, what is it? Who is this team?
Spencer, yeah. Or Tyler. We went to Harvard,
a couple
too.
of Harvard guys.
A couple of Harvard guys. Well, that's good to hear. Very proud of everybody. My coaching staff, did a good job of the guys, the character. That was important to us. And they laid it on the line for us and for me, and I can't say enough good things about the character we had. And it was kind of one of the things we preached is it's not just all about football. It's about relationships. It's about being a better father, being a better husband, being a better friend, just being there for people that mean the most to you, your mom and dad. And I think, you instill that in these guys each and every day, and it's I tried to bring that, every day, because I talk about consistency, and it's with everything you do in life. And football's not going to last forever, and your family, your relationships, those are the things that last well beyond playing football, and those are the things that become the most important.
your direction in coaching and the motivation behind how you coach, was that driven by something that you did experience in your NFL career or that you didn't experience in your
Both.
Yeah.
So early in my career, first 9 years, 4-12, 3-13, kind of seeing, but I didn't know that's the only thing I knew. You know, and not to bring up old wounds, but the old St. Louis Cardinal. I got drafted by the Cardinals, then went to Seattle, and then went to Chicago before I came to the St. Louis Rams. And a lot of 4-12, 3-13, and you kind of see a lot of teammates. And I don't know if it's because of the years of losing, players become selfish. You know, it becomes about individuals and statistics and money. And I think but it trickles down from the top is how they're treated. And then when I came to St. Louis, all of a sudden I'm talking to Charlie Army, the GM, you know, the president, John Shaw, and then Coach Vermeil is Coach Vermeil. I mean, he's like a father figure. You don't want to let him down. And I think, and then you go to Carolina and John Fox and Jerry Richardson, and then the Colts and Tony Dungy, and it's, wow, it's not that hard. It's just treating people with respect, treating people right, doing the right things for the right reasons. So that's how I run my business, Prolific Park in North Carolina, and that's how I try to coach is just it's just being consistent in how you treat people, how you get up in the morning with a purpose, how are we going to get better, what are we going to do, what does that look like, what does that feel like, and I'm still learning. You know, obviously we didn't finish it like we wanted to, but I think guys bought in, and so yeah, to answer your question, Amy, it did. It was my experience as a player, and I wanted to treat these guys like I wanted to be treated as a player, and Vermeil set that stage in '98 when we weren't winning. I think that's when you see your true identity is when we were 4-12 in '98. We weren't very good, and then '99. Mm-hmm. We were 13-3 and won the Super Bowl. So, but consistency and through the good times and the bad times is, I think, shows your character as a person and as a football team.
Yesterday we were at the ballpark and talked to Ricky Horton and Benji Molina, and I'm always fascinated with this conversation about players. And I don't know if baseball is different than football, but I'm fascinated by how players need coaching to, try to get them into a particular place as opposed to being a self-starter. As opposed to it coming from, you've got to be the one to take initiative and work hard and all that. Your coach can't make you do it. And most guys who have played have said, you've got to do it yourself. This guy can't make you do it. So when you talk about buy-in, like what's that relationship between the buy-in and the player themselves just having some professional pride and working as hard as they possibly can?
It's a great question. I think there's a happy medium. I think, like, to me, I'm a self-starter. But it's like being a parent. Your kids are different. You can't I have 3 children. You don't treat all 3 of them the same. Some people say you do. I don't believe in that. And I think it carries over to your team. There's some guys who can take hard criticism. There's some guys who need it. They want it. They want you to yell and scream at them because that's not good enough. And then there's other guys that'll crush them, and you got to build them up. So I think that's what makes a good coach is knowing, identifying those players in what their needs are. And I think that's part of what becomes a successful team is obviously you don't want a ton of those guys that you got to build up all the time because that's exhausting. But
Right.
So you want to build those guys up, but again, then you have those self-starters that guys rally around them. Guys see that when times aren't good, that's when you see your true football team. When you've had 2-3 losses in a row, and how are your self-starter, how are your leaders responding, how are they practicing? It's easy to do it when everything's good and everything's hunky-dory, you're winning 3 games in a row, but when you've lost 3 in a row, how are your leaders responding? How are they practicing? How are they preparing? And when you have a great football team with the culture, everybody's positive, the coaches are positive. Hey, we're gonna work our way out of this, and that's what, to me, the signs of a great organization, because it starts at the top, from the owner to the president to the GM to the head coach, and then it trickles down to, because you want to surround yourself with those kinds of people that you've learned from. Like, I want to surround myself with the Tony Dungys, the Dick Vermeils, the Kurt Warners, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. I mean, you can go down. If you look if you look at Charlie Army and Dick Draft, Orlando Pace, Grant Wistrom, Trey Bly, Torrey Holt, the Kurt Warner, bring it, Trent Green. You just go, it goes on. And then you look at some later on errors who we brought in.
Yep.
They didn't last long, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so that's what, from experience, that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Is you go to these teams and you see high character guys that are self-starters or are selfless, that buy into what the team's needs are. Like, I was a starter for 10 years and I came to St. Louis and you got Isaac and we draft Torrey. I'm not a starter anymore, but I got to know what my role is. And it was a third down. And it was, you know what, be ready. If one of those guys get hurt, I can play all three positions. And I'm going to be ready.
Was that hard? Because, we focus on the fun of the greatest show on turf and how deep you were in that position. But like you said, going from a starter to having Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt in front of you, was that hard at first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you, in several different ways, just because I'm a competitor and I feel like I still had a lot of gas in the tank, but I understood the situation and they're Hall of Fame receivers. And then at my age, I'm 10, 11 years in, but I think that, like I said, it's what makes it a great team sport, is knowing what your role is and knowing at that time that I can fill in if I have to, if one of those guys go down. And I think the hardest thing was not scoring a touchdown that year.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted. That's what I prayed for, is just being a part of a winning team, because I never had my whole life. And it couldn't happen at a better time. I scored a touchdown in the NFC Championship, and I said, Lord, thank you. Now, I would do it again and wait the whole season if I knew this was going to be the result. But, that's what makes it all happen, when all of a sudden the championship, I have 6 for 100 and have the game-winning touchdown. And but that's what, all that hard work, all that patience, where I can teach these kids that it's not, gratification doesn't always come right when you want it. It's when it's needed, and you've got to prepare yourself for that moment.
We're with Battlehawks coach Ricky Proehl, and before we say goodbye here, wanted to at least highlight Hakeem Butler and Sean Fresh, who got picked up, both of them by the Denver Broncos. So, what they did during the course of the season led them to the NFL.
Absolutely. It's funny, I've talked to several players and several GMs throughout the league, and some of them waited too long and lost out on Fresh. I was kind of giving them a hard time. I won't say who it is, but
what did it rhyme with?
Was it with Schmeyen Poles? Was it?
Rhymes with lean.
Oh.
His name rhymes with lean. But anyway, they happy for both of them. I just I hope they use Hakeem the way he needs to be used. I think he's definitely can play at the next level. It's just I think he's got a certain specific skill set, and if they use him right, he can excel. And I think there's hopefully some other players that'll get an opportunity, because we had several other good players that deserve a shot, at least a workout, or an invite to camp. So we'll see, but that's what this league's all about, and couldn't be happier for Sean and Hakeem.
I know you've got
That's awesome.
Camp tonight, the youth camp, Battlehawks and UFL holding one at Belleville East. The registration for it is closed, but that should still be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, I love, I've got a youth sports complex in North Carolina. That's been my whole, I love it. Just educating parents, people, what's reality, what can happen, but dreams come true. And it's just, I started at 7 years old playing football and baseball and soccer, and, fell in love with football. And I don't think anybody would have believed that I'd played 17 years but had a lot of people along the way, coaches and parents and friends that believed it. And eventually I believed it. And so it's fun to get these kids at a young age and kind of just inspire them to work hard and believe in that dreams do come true.
Well, Ricky, we've got a viewer watching us on YouTube, Jacob, who says he modeled his college co-ed football style after you. He was just missing the talent.
Yeah.
He says, and I guess there are probably a lot of people who did exactly the same thing. So I know you inspired a lot of young St. Louisans growing up playing football, and winning the Super Bowl here was such a. I think we still talk about it, and I think we always will because it was special. And you being the Battlehawks coach back here in town is also great to have you here. So we love talking to you. We love that you came in and spoke to us today. Thank you, and congrats on a good season. Didn't end the way you wanted it to.
It didn't. But we good learning experience.
Yeah.
Gonna make some changes, do some things, and I'm excited about the future. And it was a lot of fun. It was so wonderful to be here in St. Louis in my first head coaching position. It was awesome, and so excited what the future entails.
Battlehawks coach and Super Bowl champion Ricky Proehl with us on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com. Come out to Hot Shot Lindbergh this Friday between 12 and 2 p.m. to celebrate 150 years of Budweiser. Don't miss out on a fresh day of brewed Budweiser and a chance to win great prizes while mingling with KMOX sports talent and sports manager Tom Ackerman. And while you're there, don't miss the chance to stay and watch the U.S. versus Australia game on the big screens while enjoying a Budweiser. All happening Friday at Hot Shots on Lindbergh. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
For 70 years, Rottler Pest Solutions has helped local homeowners protect what matters most. And the solutions is such a key word here because they really do help you with all of the issues that you face as a homeowner. Like for summer, for instance, moles, they can really tear up your yard and your landscaping, and you spend all of that money to make your yard look nice, and those stupid moles ruin everything. Well, that's right. The stupid moles. Rottler has a program. It's a year-round warranted protection in their program that includes follow-up visits between scheduled services to make sure the moles don't ruin your yard. Speaking of your yard, do mosquitoes ruin your barbecue parties? Or maybe ticks are adding, just an extra concern when the kids are playing out in the yard or you let the dogs out? Yes, Rottler has a solution for mosquitoes. Rottler has a solution for ticks. They really do take care of your home, your yard. It's not just ants and roaches. It's all the other pests that really become bothersome. Visit them today at Rottler.com, Rottler.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Couple of minutes to go before the Gas House Gang. It'll be Bernie Miklasz and me, Chris Ranji, with Amy Markscores. And by the way, joining us on the show today on Gas House Gang, we will have Blair Kirchhoff, who is writing for the Kansas City Star. And the reason we're going to have Blair on is because, well, the Cardinals take on the Royals tonight in Kansas City. And also, the World Cup is going on in Kansas City.
Yes, it is.
So here are the Cardinals, who, as we have pointed out before, were in New York when the NBA Finals Game 3 happened, and then a couple of weeks later, they're in Kansas City while the World Cup is going on. So they're trying to play a baseball game, and all these cities are having all these big events around them.
This is how old I'm getting. My first thought is, wow, the parking is going to be so tough.
I know. And then the Cardinals came back home. Then they had the sinkhole happen. And then they had Chris and Amy Day happen.
Man, we are getting people blaming us for the reason. We are the reason the Cardinals are not 10 games over 500 right now. People are blaming Chris and Amy.
Oh, stuff it. They will be soon enough.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think so.
They're playing some pretty good ball.
I'm feeling good about it. Thank you to the Cardinals for rolling out the red carpet for Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark, and to everyone who showed up. Man, it was so fun meeting so many of you, and we're getting a lot of texts as well from people who stopped by and had a great time. It's always a good time at the ballpark.
And people who didn't, like Pensacola Jones,
Yes.
who says we were looking for him probably, and he wants to apologize, but he couldn't make it. And I got to tell you, that's not good enough.
I don't know.
It just
I
isn't
believe
good
him.
enough.
I believe. He said sorry, Matt, too. He apologized to Matt.
And in case you missed it, the Gateway Arch Park Foundation came by and they delivered to us the weeds from the top of the Millennium Hotel, which I've been clamoring for
years,
several years. And like I told them, I do feel a bit like the dog that caught the car.
Yeah.
You chase the car. You finally get to the car. You don't know what to do with
You
it
looked
once
a
you
little
get there.
deer in headlights.
I couldn't believe it.
Little deer in headlights, but
Can't believe it.
Ryan McClure and the Gateway Arch Park Foundation, the amount of effort, because they did have to get those weeds. They did have to pop them. They printed out the certificate of authenticity.
They do. We have a certificate of authenticity.
It's really nice. It's in color, too.
It is nice, and we will be framing it.
Yep.
And we also need to get a hold of a botanist. A botanist who's willing to talk to us. Apparently, we're having trouble getting botanists to want to speak to us.
We just need
because we just want to know what it is.
Yeah.
We want to know what kind of plant we're dealing
pretty
with
sure
here.
it's a white willow because there are white willows on the arch grounds.
And it does look like it needs to be watered because it is on its last legs.
A little parched.
It looks like it needed concrete to live.
The best is when you said, we need a botanist, and Ryan McClure said, I'd get one today.
We might need a priest. I think this one's almost done. All right. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hancock and Kelly start the show with us at 9 o'clock. We are going to have a great time. We promise you on a Friday. And if you missed anything, you know where to get it. Odyssey app, KMOX.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. All available for you. Chris and Amy back tomorrow at 9 on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by LendSeek.
Don't let someone